What's going on, guys? Chase Ghost Picks Against the Spread, ghostpicksats.com, your #1 trending handicapping service based on the East Coast and are now global. Hope everyone has had a great week thus far. Hope everyone enjoyed the All-Star game, the Home Run Derby, and have gotten a little bit of time to clear your head and kind of recharge before we start things back up here for the second half of baseball. So, excuse me. What I want to do today is I want to go over a couple of different things. We'll recap the All-Star game. We'll recap something that I told you a few weeks ago would more than likely happen, as well as give you my top 10 MLB power rankings going into, or where they stood right at the All-Star game. So going into, and I made a few adjustments, over today as announcements were made, and then we'll also do the college football over-under totals that I'm going to give you, and then we'll do NFL next week. I'm still digging into some of that, and that's what I'm going to focus on Thursday for the majority of the day. I will be attending the Chicago Cubs-St. Louis Cardinals game Thursday night, but I'm going to get to the office Thursday morning about 5:30 and work until probably about 2:30 in the afternoon, going over Friday's card, as well as digging into probably breaking down two more teams in the NFL. I'm about halfway through that now, so at some point next week, I will do another video doing the preseason win totals for the NFL. So we'll go over a couple of promotions and packages that we're going to do through the remainder of the week, getting geared up for football season. But guys, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves in that. We're still in baseball season, a lot of baseball left to play, and that's what we need to put our main focus on right now, because that's where the money's at. There's no money in football yet because football's not playing. But going to give you all that, and I'm going to give you a slight lean as a free play for Thursday in the CFL. So let's get started. I'm going to try to make this as short and sweet as possible, but we have a lot to go over. So, yeah, let's get started. It's about 11:30 Wednesday night. I'm going to try to keep this video under 20 minutes if possible. So let's start with the All-Star game. That was a fun one to watch. Most All-Star games are, if your favorite player's in it, or if your team's representing players in it, obviously it makes it a little more interesting. I always tune into the All-Star game. This one this year was a little more special for me because Javier Baez was in it, and I told you guys before, I've got my all-time favorite players, and players that I grew up watching, and not all of them are Cubs players. I was a big King Griffey Jr. fan. So I mean, there's always been players that I've loved, and Javi will probably, not only is he my favorite baseball player now, and has been since he started, he is getting right up there in his short career thus far as, might go down as one of my favorite players of all time. The most fun baseball player to watch, bar none. There is nobody. I mean, sure, Ohtani has been fun to watch this year before he got taken out of the pitching rotation. Mike Trout's always fun to watch. Jackie Bradley Jr. Is fun to watch. Mookie Betts, Francisco Lindor is fun to watch. Justin Verlander is fun to watch. There's none of these guys that compare to just how fun it is to watch Javi Baez play defense. It's unbelievable, and the way he's playing, he's solidifying himself as a Hall of Famer, and he has a long, long career ahead of him. So anyway, I did sell a premium play. It was $19.99 for my All-Star game play. So for the people that did jump on that, hey, I appreciate you having some fun with me there. My premium play was a totals play. Originally, I was looking at playing the Nationals as an underdog, which I don't think was a bad bet. I mean, you saw it was tied up 5-5 at the end of 9 and went into extra innings. But just, coming the day of that, early that morning, yesterday morning, looking just at the lineups for the final time, I didn't have enough backing me for the American League to take the run line, which is the only way that I would want to have taken it for value reasons, being that a lot of times this is somewhat of a toss-up. And again, I didn't have enough weighing me towards the National League side, even as an underdog and plus money, to want to fade the American League. So, but I love the total. I played over 7. That was, my only play in the All-Star game. But all of my current premium clients that are, in the midst of season packages, or if it fell within their month package, or, whatever it was, they all got to play. So for all the ones that, that did play, congratulations. I know a lot of people did, because I got responses when I sent it out. And then for all the people that signed up just for that specific play, congratulations. That was a nice, easy win. 14 total runs scored, 10 in the first 9, so easy win there, especially when we got into the into the latter part of the game. Nice win there. So that was my All-Star pick. It was a winner. Congratulations that everybody got on it. So now, what do we start with? Let's start with the promotions, what we're going to do. Everybody has been asking me about college football and NFL. I've gotten a total of about 65 text messages over the past 10 days asking, have you released a football package? When are you going to release it? How much is it going to cost? When can I sign up? Can I get a discount for signing up early? Jimmy's releasing his. Derek released his. When are you doing yours? So in the couple of days where we have not been having games to play, I have sat down, I've talked to Jimmy, I've worked over numbers long and hard, and this is what I'm going to offer you. So this will give you a little bit of a look into what football season is going to look like, and the discount that I'm willing to offer you as an early bird special starting first thing tomorrow morning, Thursday. My football packages are going to cost $14.99, $1,500 per sport. NFL's $1,500. That will, if you sign up, now or before preseason starts, preseason is included in that. But for people that don't want to sign up for a full season or anything like that, that maybe want to start with preseason, there will be a preseason package that we are going to sell, or that I am going to sell. But we'll get into that a little bit closer to preseason. But if you sign up prior to the preseason starting and you sign up for the entire season, preseason is included for $1,500, and that runs all the way through the Super Bowl. Every NFL play that I release is included in that $14.99. The same goes for college football. You sign up, $14.99. That goes from the very first kickoffs of week 1 all the way through bowl games and the national championship. I don't guarantee how many games I play in bowl games. I don't guarantee how many conference championships I have a play in, and things like that. But it will go from first week kickoffs all the way through the BCS national championship, playoffs, and everything. And I'm selective in college football. It's very unlikely that you're just going to get one play a week from me. Typically, we do release multiple plays a week. Try to do multiple plays on Saturdays, as well as play stuff throughout the week, depending on what games are going on a Thursday night, Friday night, things like that. I love non-Power 5 conferences. That's one of my specialties that Jimmy really scouted me on heavily. Hit over 81% in non-Power 5 conference plays last year, and have hit consistently last 3 years overall, combining 3 years. Non-Power 5 conferences have hit 77%. So I love that, and that's where I make a lot of money. But then in your Power 5 conferences, SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12. I do all of it. I specialize more in Big 10, ACC, SEC, and Big 12 versus the Pac-12 and the Mountain West, and stuff like that. But I play everything. I'm a very successful football handicapper. You will get to see that. Everybody knows me as the baseball guy, the baseball guru, and I am. And I'm proud to to have that title, and to and to portray myself as that. And as a fan, I'll take MLB over anything. If that was the only sport that I could watch for the rest of my life, I'd be okay with it. As a fan, MLB is absolutely #1, and there's nobody even close to it, or nothing even close to it. Second to that, NCAA basketball. But as a handicapper, and as a gambler, and as a bettor and investor, I live for college football, because it's just so profitable when you know what you're doing. So I can't wait to have you guys on board to see what I'm going to do in football this year, and in basketball alike. So anyway, that's what the packages are going to cost. Now, if you say, all right, I love NFL and college football, and I'm going to play both, instead of paying $1,500 a piece, you can combine both and get it for $24.99. So $2,500 to get you a $500 immediate discount, and that goes anytime you sign up if you combine both. But what you can do right now is combine both NFL preseason all the way through the Super Bowl, first week college football all the way through the national championship, all of that combined for $14.99. $1,500 gets you every single football play I'm going to release for the 2018-19 season. Everything, all inclusive. There you go. If you decide that you don't want to combine both of them and you just want to do one or the other, $9.99 this week. So that $14.99 package for both, or the $9.99 for single NFL or college football, whichever you choose, through Sunday, this coming Sunday. So you'll have 4 days to jump on it. You can do NFL or college football, one or the other, for $9.99 for the season. And obviously, top tiers will be included in that. So, you know, again, once we roll into basketball season, and while baseball season's still going on, I can't guarantee what the top tier play is going to be. If the top tier play is in, you know, college basketball, while we're still in football season, and you're not on a basketball package, but you're on football, you won't get the top tier, obviously. But every top tier play we release in football, if you're on that package, you will get that for no additional charge. That includes everything. So $9.99 or $14.99 gets you both. That runs through Sunday. Now, I'm also going to run one other promotion, and this is because somebody asked me would I be doing it. So once baseball season starts to come to a close and we're full swing, gearing up towards the end of the regular season of college football, NFL's in full swing, and now we're introducing preseason NBA and college basketball. Somebody asked me, what would it take to sign up for everything? College football, college basketball, NFL, as well as NBA, from start to finish of all 4 seasons. $5,000, all 4 sports, all top tiers, whatever we do. And if you sign up early, which is what I'm offering you, that $5,000 discount, I know it seems like a lot, and it is a lot of money. You know, that's a good bit of money. But you're getting 4 sports, start to finish, championships and top tiers included. And obviously if you sign up early, because the World Series plays are not in my MLB season. They're not. It's going to be a completely separate package when the time comes. You will get a bet on who I think is going to win, as well as each individual play I have throughout the World Series, which might be 1 or it might be 7. We don't know. We don't know how many games are going to be yet. We don't know who's going to be there. That will also be included for those people that sign up early. The World Series will be just complimentary plays that I give you, and if one of those is top tier, hey, you don't miss out on that either. So those are the promotions. For any of the other promotions I've got going on, now that the All-Star break is over, my MLB season is going to be discounted to $9.99, and I am going to include top tiers with that. Most people think, hey, $9.99, that's not much of a discount. But with top tier plays, you're getting the rest of MLB season. Top tier plays are $99 a piece per play. And I'm going to give you the rest of the MLB plays, not including World Series, and every top tier in MLB, which is what the top tiers are going to be up until everything else starts. And hey, even when football starts, that doesn't mean that MLB might not hold the top tier play of the day. We don't know what it'll hold. It depends on where the best value's at. But you will get every single MLB play I release up until the World Series. Top tier plays included for $9.99. Jump on that if you want. That special will run through Sunday. After Sunday, we will discount the MLB season. Cheaper than that, but the top tier plays won't be included. It'll be 2 separate packages that we have to combine. And then anything a month or longer, go on the website, look at my typical packages. Anything that you sign up for, a month, a season, whatever, whether it be top tier, regular premiums, a combination of both, 50% off of those. But obviously the big focus is the rest of MLB with top tier for $9.99. Extremely, extremely significant discount. So don't miss out on that, guys. All of what I just told you will run through Sunday. Come midnight Sunday night, the deals are off. Everything goes to normal price. That's when my NFL and college basketball stuff will be on the website. Not going to put it up there yet because we are running the promotions. No need in putting them on the website yet when we know that we're just going to have to change them in a few days. So anyway, there's that. And I'm going to go ahead and clear the air here. I will not have a play in tomorrow's game with the Chicago Cubs and the St. Louis Cardinals. Again, I can't remember if I said that just a few minutes ago. I will be attending that game. I do not like to play games with potential, with playoff contending teams, which we know the Cubs are one, right after the All-Star break. It's the only card on the board. Or the only game on the card for Thursday. That's it. There are no other games. I give you a lean. I have to lean to the Cubs just because of they're the better team. But don't forget that the Cardinals lost their manager. I told you 3 weeks ago. What did I tell you? They're one of the top 3 worst managed teams in baseball. And it is hurting them. And what happens a few weeks later? Manager gets shit canned. So, guys, listen to the information I'm telling you. And why I played the run line on Sunday with St. Louis, even though they've been struggling, is because of that manager getting fired. I said they're going to come out. They're going to go out there and show out because managers, for the most part, aren't needed in baseball. Not anymore. There's a handful of select teams that get managed very well. But other than that, it's just like they're just standing there. They're collecting a paycheck to be a presence, and that's it. But anyway, I'm very cautious the first few days back after the All-Star break. Friday's going to be a good slate of games. Definitely have plays all weekend. But Thursday, there will not be a play. So for all my premium guys that email me, text me, call me, no need to do it. There will not be a play. I will not be giving a lean on that game other than what I just gave you right there. If I wanted to lean on the total, I'd probably lean over for the slight struggles that Kyle Hendricks has had this year and the fact that the Cubs are one of the hottest offenses in baseball. So there's your leans for it. I will not have an official premium play. There will not be a top-tier play. And we will get back into the full swing of things on Friday and start this weekend out strong. As far as a little free play, I'm going to take Hamilton in the CFL as a I'll call it a lean. It's not going to be an official premium play. I like over 51 in that game. I think these are two offenses that know how to score. We know Hamilton can score, but their defense isn't significant by any means. And in the CFL, if both offenses get started fairly early, a lot of points get put up in a short amount of time. So there's your lean over 51. Again, none of this stuff was premium plays. I will start back with my full normal schedule. Come Friday, you'll see a free pick premium play from me, as well as my card will be released, top tiers, the whole 9 yards. But let's jump into the college football season win totals that I'm going to give you, and then we'll jump into my top 10 power rankings, and then I'll get out of here. I've already been rambling on for 17 minutes, and I'm sure you guys got a lot of stuff to do today. So anyway, let's start out with it. We'll start out with Alabama. They're sitting at 11 wins. They're the odds for them to win the national championship again are at plus 175. They are still the best team in football. There's no information out there yet to say that they're not going to be the best again. So obviously don't throw your bankroll at it. If you are that person that likes to go out there and sprinkle a few $100 on some future plays, the plus 175 for Alabama is not a bad bet. And if everything goes off of statistics that we have to go off of now, saying that key people like, Hurts, Jalen doesn't get hurt or anything like that. Bama's got the best overall chance from, right now to go out there and win, and pick up another ring. So the total's sitting at 11. There's nothing saying that you would want to take the under. But then 11 wins, you certainly don't want to push for the over in that because I think Bama's going to lose something. So at that total right there, it's spot on in my opinion. I wouldn't play the total in that one. That would be the one because I know everybody's going to be looking at that total. They're going to be looking at that team as everybody always is. That's the total I would definitely lay off of. Let's get into Florida Atlantic University, non-power 5, with what I think is one of the most underrated offensive minds in college football, which is Lane Kiffin. Yeah, he's a little shithead, but I like Lane. He doesn't care what anybody thinks about him, and he is one of the best offensive minds in football. He can't help but piss people off that he works for, or, when he's been in head coaching positions. He can't win, but he is a good coach. He's just got to get somewhere and stop being a little douchebag, in my opinion. Mark my words, Lane Kiffin eventually will have a ring on his finger as a head coach. Not an offensive coordinator. Is it going to come with Florida Atlantic? It's highly, highly unlikely. The position will come available again in the future for him to take over a head coaching position, a more high-profile one, Power 5 school, and he will get that ring that I think that he deserves. But the total sitting at 8 wins. I'm going to take over that because I think in their conference there's going to be a lot of gimme games, and we know how Lane Kiffin likes to play. He likes to cram points down somebody's throat from start to finish. There is no laying off and pulling starters. If he can score 100 points, he's going to do it. I'll take over 8 wins with Lane Kiffin all day long at -110. Miami, overrated team last year. I don't care that they went and played in the ACC championship because you can get a room full of stupid people and they're still the smartest one in the room. That's your ACC. I don't care what's happened in the past few years. I don't care that Clemson won a national championship 2 years ago. We'll get into them in a second. The ACC is overrated, and they always are. You've got your consistent winning teams like Clemson, like Florida State. But other than that, the ACC sucks, man. Excuse me. I have a lot of respect for Mark Richt. I love what he did at Georgia. He couldn't get that ring, and I think that's what ultimately got him, pushed out of Georgia. But that was his job, man. It disgusts me. I mean, I like Kirby Smart. I have a lot of respect for him, and he's going to do amazing things with that university, especially that being his alma mater. I love seeing things like that where coaches get to go coach for their team, for their alma mater. There's something special with that. But Miami is an overrated team. Miami is not a very consistent team when they have to go out there and play a stretch of difficult games. And you're sitting at 9.5. If it was sitting at 9, I may back up just a hair, but at 9.5 right now, I'll take the under at -120 all day long, as I see this right around a 7 to 8 win season. Could be less. We'll have to see what certain teams in the ACC are going to do with new starting quarterbacks. You never know in the ACC. Some quarterbacks shine, and some teams might as well just hang it up before the season starts. So we'll have to get a few games into it, but right now my future play in something I've already wagered on, Miami under 9.5 at -120. Now we'll get into the University of South Carolina Gamecocks. Everybody wants to know my alma mater. That's one of them. So South Carolina means a lot to me as far as a football team. I don't. I was raised a University of North Carolina fan. By probably the most diehard North Carolina Tar Heel fan there is, but I grew up in a basketball household. That was our sport of choice. But the University of South Carolina, my alma mater, that's a team that just until last year I still held season tickets to, and it's been a while since I've been to that, since I've gone there. So, but anyway, this isn't a biased opinion because again, when it comes to college football, I'm not a fan of pulling for a team in college football like I used to be, especially in college. It's strictly money for me, man. Don't get me wrong, I love college football. I love the sport. I attend a ton of games, especially down at Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina. But this is money, man. And Will Muschamp is a great coach. His problem at Florida was that he couldn't keep his nose out of the offense. He's not an offensive coach. He's a defensive genius. And he's a good head coach if he stays out of the offense. And so far at South Carolina, he's done that. You've got returning Jake Bentley, who I think is a stud of a quarterback. Defensive line's looking good. Yes, you had some people leave last year, but I think that with the motivation, with the recruiting that they did, and Will Muschamp, he's on fire right now. I think that last year really showed, the potential of what this team is going to do in the next 5 years as they continue to recruit top prospects, not only in their state, but in the Southeast overall. And Bentley's dad, who is the running backs coach. I think that South Carolina sitting at 7 wins, that's a gimme. I see 8 wins easy. I see 9 wins being where I think it should be because I see a potential 10-win season here with South Carolina. I could see a potential win over Georgia, and I see them finishing out the year in Clemson, South Carolina, beating the team that I hate more than anything and the coach that I hate more than anything. South Carolina, 7 wins, -110 over all day long. My second favorite pick that I'm going to give you. Now let's get into the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Scott Frost coming from the University of Central Florida. Absolutely great move for him as a Nebraska boy and for the Nebraska organization altogether. They picked up a hell of a coach, a hell of a guy, and somebody that's going to want to play fast. I looked into their spring game, and I know this is the spring game, so it doesn't hold the most value, but they were running plays an average of every 15 seconds, I believe it was. That's a lot faster than Nebraska in the past decade. He's going to run them, he's going to gun them, and he's going to play fast-paced, because that's going to be the key to a lot of these wins where they're matched very well with other teams. They got 3 gimme games, so there's 3 wins right there. The total's sitting at 6.5 that I got it. I saw it in some places at 7. Either way, 6.5 or 7. If you get it 6.5, absolutely. I like it just as much as South Carolina. 7. I'd probably say that I lean South Carolina just a hair bit more, and that's only because the coaching is a little more established there, because Will Muschamp's been there for a little while versus Scott Frost coming into the new role. But even in his rookie season there as coach, I think that he will do great things. So over 6.5, over 7, 3 gimme games. So there's, you're almost halfway there at that point, and I think they're going to be very competitive. So over 6.5, over 7, whichever one you can get it at -110. Over right there for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. All right, we got 2 more. And I know I'm giving you a lot of information, but I want to throw out as much free stuff as I can for you guys. Clemson. I hate the school. I can't stand the team. And most importantly, I cannot stand Dabo Swinney. I wish they would kick him out of college football. He is arrogant, condescending, cocky. He loves the sound of his own voice, and he's the biggest hypocrite there ever was. He loves the holier and thou, Christian this, Christian that, loves to preach it while he's in front of a camera. He can't take criticism from reporters, from other coaches, from anybody. He starts to cry and wants to get really defensive and everything, and talk about how great they are and how great he is and everything else, and how humble he is and how down to earth he is. And he just built a 35,000 square foot house with a 25-yard indoor practice facility, and said that he did it for the players that want to come over, and he did it for them. Whatever, dude. One of your kids got a position on the team that you gave him and said he was the hardest working kid out there. Go look at Sweeney's kid and tell me that he's should even remotely be considered to play on that team. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, can't stand him. He loves to talk the holier and thou, preach that, preach this, but then be the biggest hypocrite with, when he doesn't realize the camera's on him, F this, F that, talking bad about everybody, talking about how he supports his players through their NFL careers. Unless it gives him good publicity, he has nothing to do with any of his former players the second they walk off that field. It's all about him, and I cannot, everybody knows that I'm the Cubs guy, and baseball as a fan is my sport, and you know how I feel about the White Sox and the Cardinals and the Brewers and teams like that, but in the sports world, there's not another team or another coach that I despise more than Clemson University, especially in football, and Coach Dabo Swinney, or should I say cheerleader Dabo Swinney. He's not a coach. Brent Venables coaches that team. Dabo can't call a game to save his life, yet he takes all the credit. I can't wait until school throws a checkbook at Brent Venables and he realizes that he is the leader and he goes and takes over somewhere else, which Tennessee should have hired him. He could have taken Tennessee to a SEC Eastern Conference, an SEC championship, at least winning the East within the first 3 years, and I'd have put a lot of money on that. Again, I'm getting on a rant here, but Dabo is a joke. I can't stand the man. If you disagree with me, okay, I don't want to hear a bunch of comments about how people love Dabo, because he's brainwashed a lot of people, and it doesn't do anything but get me fired up and pissed off to talk about him. Anyway, my favorite season win total is a team that I really don't care for that much. I really don't. The West Virginia Mountaineers. There's a couple of key pieces here. Morgantown, West Virginia is a snake pit to play in. West Virginia has always been a fast-paced team, high-scoring team. They don't play any defense, but by God, they'll put up some points. And in the Big 12, Greer's the only the returning starting quarterback. That's it. Everybody else has moved on, graduated, gotten drafted. So there's a significant advantage at a very key piece of a team in the quarterback. Quarterback sets the pace for the team, especially in the Big 12. most of the teams. Not all of them are fast-paced like that, but the quarterback is definitely the most key piece when you look at most Big 12 teams and their style of play. Well, Greer was not only superior to most. I mean, I know everybody was going to, say, well, here we go, Oklahoma, blah, 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 blah. He was a little condescending shit, too. I didn't like him or his attitude, and I think Oklahoma has always been overrated, or I say always. In the past 5, 6 years, 7 years, I think they've been overrated. I don't think their schedule is very tough because the Big 12 is obviously not a good conference overall. But West Virginia is a good team that can hang with anybody as long as they go out there and play their game and don't get wrapped up into trying to do things that are not them. So 7, that's a trap, man. That is a trap. At even money, over all day long, best team in the Big 12 this year. Fastest paced team, run them, gun them, cram them down their throat. The only returning starting quarterback, and a good starting quarterback at that. That is absolutely my favorite season win total. Over 7 with West Virginia. Now, we're on a half hour here for this video. Let's jump into power rankings for MLB. These are my power rankings. These are not from MLB.com. These are the way I've ranked them, so they probably differ quite a bit from others. We'll start with the Houston Astros. Houston Astros have had their struggles here in the past month, but the one thing that you can't ignore with is their pitching rotation is still second to none. Their home field advantage is incredible, and their run differential is a plus 188 for probably the best in baseball. And you have people like, Colin Garrett and Verlander, and you're the defending World Series champions. And, you're already sitting on, a playoff bid. So that's why I put them at number 1. Being that their struggles that they've had over the past month, I was leaning between second and third place. But that run differential is what put me right there at the top. That's the only reason that they came in just slightly above my number 2 ranked team, which is the Boston Red Sox. And, guys, this is not my who should be first. This is my power rankings here. I still think the Boston Red Sox are the top team in baseball. But as far as the power rankings, I've got Red Sox at number 2. They've lost 2 games since June 30th. So, I mean, just look at that. They've won 30 out of their last 39. It's incredible. And they've got an overall 272 team batting average. Fantastic team, and in my opinion, the best team overall in baseball. Power rankings, I put them at number 2. Number 3, I'm going to take, I got stats mixed up here. The last 30 out of the team that's won 30 out of their last 39 has been the Chicago Cubs. And because of that, and the fact that they're just a flat-out offensive machine right now, they took number 3 in the power rankings there. Falling in just slightly below them, I took the New York Yankees. They've got 7 players that have double-digit homers this year. They're a fun team to watch. They are another offensive machine. The reason that they didn't come in just slightly higher is I think they need another arm in their rotation. Their pitching is great, but I think they right now they're relying just a little bit too much on their bullpen. They need one more key piece of that road. They need one more arm, and that one more arm could seriously put them at World Series contention. Number 5, and there's a couple of reasons for this. I put the Dodgers at number 5. The tail end of the first half of the season, after coming off of a terrible first half for them and what they were expected to do. Kershaw's back. He's playing well. Justin Turner is coming back. I think he will be back this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. As I told you the other day, I had 3 teams that I thought Machado would go to. It would be New York, Philly, or the Dodgers, and that Philly, I think, would have been his best long-term spot, but for something for potentially 1 to 3 years would be the Dodgers. I haven't looked into the details of his contract yet, but it is official. He will be in LA, and because of that, that solidified them as an easy number 5 spot, and I think that they are going to play absolute hell in the NL West in the second half of the season, take a very significant lead, and charge their way to yet another postseason and see if they can't make another World Series run. But they're going to have to meet up with somebody potentially like the Cubs, and even though their offense has been doing great, and it's definitely going to help with Turner and Machado, the Cubs are an offensive machine right now, and there's no signs of letting up. Number 6, we take the Oakland A's, and that's just the way they've been scoring runs. Not great defensively, not great pitching. nothing to write home about as far as relievers and bullpen and things like that, but they're scoring runs. They get on base and they score runs, and they do it consistently, and they're putting up wins. And in the AL West, when really the only other teams out there that have really made any strides towards greatness at certain times this year being Seattle and LA Angels, I think the Oakland A's have been overall for the season, or for the first half of the season, been more consistent than both. They have had less times of just absolute turmoil. So that's why they took the number 6 spot in my power rankings. Number 7, I'm going to take the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks can't score. But when you go back and look at games where offense matches the pitching, and that's a scary-ass team to play against. And that's when they go out there and show how dominant they can be. Do I think they're going to do anything against the Dodgers in the second half? It's highly unlikely. But for that reason alone, and we have to take the first half into consideration, we can't go off the second half because it hasn't started. They took my number 7 spot. Cleveland, the most overrated team in all of this top 10. A team that is probably the weakest team to actually be leading any division in baseball. For that reason, and just how much talent they have and how unimpressive they've been, I don't want them in this top 10. But the fact they are leading a division, which is nothing to really brag about in that division, but they've already sealed a playoff spot. And Cleveland's always known to make ridiculous year-end runs. So for that, they took my number 8 spot, which I hated to do it, but hey, legitimate stats here. So number 9, I was going to take Seattle, but Seattle, God, I made so much money off Seattle this year. But as I said 2 weeks ago in a video, I said they're trending downwards. They're in a little bit of a trouble. The peak that they hit, I don't think they're going to hit that peak again. I think that they'll have some really good strides in the second half of the season, but that's only going to be in spurts, I believe. And I think the Nationals are going to kind of get back into a rhythm. I think Bryce Harper's feeling a little more now. I also think Scherzer is going to get back into a good rotation, so I put them at number 9. They are coming back. They are trending upward while the Mariners are trending downward. So Nationals took number 9. Seattle took number 10. We will revisit these power rankings in 10 days once we see how the first start of the second half of the season goes. Guys, I have taken up almost 40 minutes of your time, but I hope you enjoyed every bit of the information. We'll do it again next week when we do NFL season win totals, and we'll probably do a nice little Q&A. If you guys got any questions that you want me to address on a video, shoot me an email, chase.ghostpicksats@gmail.com. Again, no play in the Chicago Cubs-St. Louis Cardinals game for Thursday. We are back to full swing on Friday with a free premium play on Friday. I've given you your leans, and we're going to get geared up for what's going to be a kick-ass weekend. Do not forget about the promotions. If you want to save some serious money, jump on, shoot me an email. We'll get geared up, and I'll show you how to get linked up. Or for anybody that's ever been with me before, and you guys know Jimmy or with him, you can easily call him, or you can go directly to the website. But the promotions are not going to be on the website because after Sunday they are done. Guys, I love you. I mean it. I hope everyone's had a great All-Star break. I know that I have enjoyed spending a little extra time with my family, but I've mainly done work more than anything else. I want to work for the majority of the day tomorrow before I go catch a game, and then Friday morning, bright and early, I'm back at it, and I'll be back at it all weekend, and not another break in sight for a long time. So, guys, I love you. I mean it. Can't wait to see you on Friday. I'm glad that baseball is officially back. Only a couple of days off there, but can't wait to be back. Love you guys. Anything you need, let me know. Drop a comment, like, subscribe. We're going to be doing a contest this weekend probably for something next week. Getting a lot more involved. I caught the last 3 minutes of the Bulldog, his little live show that he's going to do once a week, the Irish Bulldog. I'm sure you guys remember him. Go check that out. Jack's video, Jimmy's, all the promotions, Derek's. I'm sure that I will probably be a guest on Bulldog Show at some point throughout football season, maybe before baseball season's over. I don't know. I know we'll cross paths at least once or twice. But go check out all that information. I'm going to go back and actually watch the entire thing now since I only caught the last bit of it and see what they had to say. I know they were doing a lot of football stuff on that. So, guys, all the information. Hope you appreciate it. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Go check out all my brothers, Jimmy, Jack, Derek, Irish Bulldogs video. And I'll see you again on Friday. Good luck, guys.